All right, to some of the other stories making headlines this morning, and there's a lot. This first one connects to what we've been discussing as world leaders gather at the G20 summit focusing on the coronavirus pandemic. President Trump went golfing instead. On Saturday, leaders from Germany, South Korea, France, and Argentina were reportedly scheduled to participate in the event. But during a meeting on the pandemic, President Trump had rolled up to a golf course. The G20 summit was reportedly on the president's schedule starting from 8 o'clock in the morning with no end time listed. Despite the U.S. leading the world in cases and deaths, no American was scheduled to speak during the global summit's Saturday session on COVID-19.
And so
he does not want to do his job.
Here we have, Rev, here we have America responsible for 1 out of every 5 deaths.
We're number one
on the planet. We've got 4.5% of the population, 20% of the deaths are so far ahead in infections. Compare us to Canada. It's an embarrassment. It's a national embarrassment. And we have a president who knew about this all along, told Bob Woodward all along, he knew this was a killer virus, and he's just been lying through his teeth to the American people for 9 months.
It also shows the complete disregard for American and human lives. For this president, in the middle of this global meeting, that particular day was going to focus on COVID-19, and we're at over 250,000 deaths, and he not be there to engage it when it was on his schedule. He decides to go out and play golf. Imagine if Barack Obama had done that, what Donald Trump and what Mitch McConnell would have been saying. If you want to know how outrageous it is, just imagine if that had been Barack Obama doing golfing while the world was meeting on a pandemic that 250,000 Americans had died, and that we possibly are on the brink of seeing if some vaccines work, and they're not even going to raise either the devastation we're facing or the hope that may be within our grasp. He didn't either. He played golf. He fiddled while we are dying.
Jeez. All right. There are also developments this morning on Joe Biden.